Free speech versus conscious speech. The pen might have been mightier than the sword, but these days, at our peril, a tweet is more deadly than a pistol, as it can affect the minds and lives of many. While I am a strong proponent of First Amendment rights, the next revolution in speech must be conscious speech. Because for many these days, free speech is an excuse for undisciplined or intentionally hateful tirades. And we know that words can kill. A reputation, a relationship, a job prospect, social prominence, or in the instance of hate speech, an incitement towards violence. This is where the weaponization of language becomes literal. Black magicians and wordsmiths such as Frank Lutz, the Koch brothers, Newt Gingrich, and hate fearmongers Richard Spencer, Rush Limbaugh, Breitbart News, and Misinformation Central, Fox News, use the cover of free speech in a perverted way. The notion of with great freedom comes great responsibility doesn't enter the purview of these First Amendment hijackers. Oppositional views are one thing. Sowing intentional discord with no desire for real dialogue is not a productive enterprise, although actually quite successful if chaos and destruction are your objectives. You can't seriously think that Ann Coulter, Milo Yiannopoulos, and the majority of Trump trolls are willing to change their minds if a rational argument were presented to them. They are opportunists and propagandists with their own epistemological loops. The alt-right and the right in general have co-opted language and used it as an insult. How did bleeding heart liberal, social justice warrior, feminist come to mean a bad thing in the minds of many? One of the more egregious trends of right-wing extremists is the co-opting diversion of positive, inspirational words such as freedom and liberty to destroy true democracy. The Freedom Caucus, Heritage Foundation, Prager University only seek to brainwash and recruit haters of progress to uphold a corrupted hierarchy that excludes modernity, equality, and multiculturalism. Also, we get into slippery terrain when we use positive word phrases to cloak a negative intention. Right-wing Christian fundamentalists hide behind the term religious freedom to institutionalize discrimination and homophobia. This distorted idea has even far more destructive implications, as Christian fundamentalists are decrying Sharia law whilst trying to institute Christian bigotry. This is a dark road to go down. Speech is a Mercury function and can be quizzical and amoral or uplifting and epiphanic. If we want a more just and evolving future, we should focus on the brilliant ability of language to communicate inspiration and ideals. The Bible says, "And the Word was made flesh." This speaks to the power of language and intention to manifest reality. This understanding, even and or especially by dark forces, is why media and truth are powerful tools of control. Intention is key. Why are they saying what they're saying? Is it inflammatory or conciliatory? Harming or healing? Dividing or uniting? A dialogue or a diatribe? Sensitive, intuitive, or tone-deaf? Generous, supportive, or self-serving? Do they speak in timeless truths or opportunistic rants? To use language properly, we must be adults and take responsibility for our words, even or especially because the propagandists do not. This includes our interactions with family, partners, coworkers, and online communities. Likewise, when listening or reading, we should use discrimination. The inflammatory ranters are there to get you off your center. They steal your energy literally by causing you to react in rage, fear, or survivalism. If you immerse yourself in a low vibrational field, your consciousness will be affected. Many Trump trolls think they are just playing a harmless, nihilistic, light game from the usually cushy upper middle class basements, but their minds and nervous systems are being infiltrated by poison. And as much as political correctness is decried by the very wrong right, it is a counterbalancing tool to years of racist, sexist, homophobic speech and teaches us some form of empathy. My hope here is that all of us varied victims of class, race, gender, sexuality, amongst others, realize that the perpetrator is the system of patriarchy, and this is where intersectionality is a powerful political force against a common oppressor. Free speech used in the service of liberating rather than limiting or destroying people is more in line with our constitutional fathers' idealism. Breaking restrictive taboos versus enforcing base stereotypes are two ends of the spectrum of disruptive communication. Integrity is key to discerning the difference. Resistance, art, or protest against an oppressor is very different from upholding the tyranny of misogyny. Hence, artists, social progressives, intellectuals, and spiritual leaders who expand one's views rather than constrict them are necessary to a healthy democracy. The original intention of free speech was to allow truth to power, not the corruption of language to destroy truth and steal power. As patriots and seekers of a more perfect union, we must move past these distortions and upgrade the First Amendment to one that holds not only free speech, but conscious speech in the highest regard as the foundation for making America even greater. I'm Med Astrologer Patrice Kamens.